droughts, heavy rains, floods, erratic weather patterns, bad or no harvest. These are among the most noticeable climate impacts globally, and therefore there is need to respond via climate action.
Climate change.
Climate change.
Climate change.
Climate change.
Climate change is real.
These are the voices of the community as they register the adverse effects of climate change within their communities in Siavonga, a district in the southern province of Zambia.
My name is William Wadia. I'm the forest officer under forest department based at Siavonga district. In Siavonga, we have a challenge of deforestation. As you have seen where we've come from in the forest, we found that the most dominant species here in Siavonga or in the valley is the mopani, which is known as Chirundu mopani. So this species is endangered because it is not found anywhere else in Zambia apart from valley areas. So we want as a department to try by all means to preserve this species.
There are a lot of people that have come from Lusaka, Kafue, and the other areas specifically to come and cut charcoal. And this charcoal is not even being used in Siavonga. It is taken to Lusaka for sale. And these people are leaving us with the problems because with them, when they finish the mopani tree, they will go somewhere else where they can find a living. But as for us, the locals here, we have nowhere else where to get a living.
In Itezhi Tezhi district of Central Province, the community members share their plight in the fight against climate change.
My name is Boydi Musangu, the ward councillor for Itumbi ward under Chief Kaingu in Itezhi Tezhi district. The energy source in Itezhi Tezhi district is charcoal. This charcoal is coming from Itumbi ward, which is the only ward in the district amongst the 15 wards. This is the only ward which is supplying charcoal in town. Itumbi ward is producing charcoal which is being used by more than 15,000 of people in town.
Meanwhile, in Chirundu district, about 140 kilometers from the capital city Lusaka, community members also explain the impact of climate change on their livelihoods.
Ndizwa kumusaya wadi mumunzi wa Zemba. Kuno kwatu ise community kwatu kuno kuyambira munga pankhani ya mvula kulibe mvula. Munga this years kunagwe mvula. So volima tinalima vinayuma voshanga vonse vinashangiwa vinayuma. Tabwera manje kunkhani ya manzi munga manzi yokumwa. Uko ndiye wesi. Tilibe ero kwa mine timayapeza ngati zino nthawi ngati yagwa mvula mmene magwera mumbuyo sometimes mumana so chabe timatamangamo manje ngati sinagwa momwe yachitira this year kulibe so manje kwamene timatapa maybe 10 kilometers timayenda kutapa timapasa pa mamotoka ndrama ngati wapeza ndrama ngati ulibe ndrama nishikunkhala so chabe.
Mewo hina yangu ndimeme Siavonga ndikala kumusaya wadi naidobune ndikala lumbembe inamana kuwihigwa muri kutoka ihigwa kumagani amenda magana amenda alitukata hide jinda jinditupenga magana amenda kambo menda kuti kathago bumi bwa muntu menda kambo kuyanda kuti muntu aboneke kabotu menda nokujanika kwamba kuti menda takutiyani takugo menda turapenga mzira handeni ihube abantu honse abantu bali kubide ng'ombe mpongo ihi honse bali kubide ino akambuka kubula kwa menda ihube iratiani irakwa menda tagugo.
Given what the local communities are experiencing, the VCA registers multifaceted interventions to help locally source initiatives in the fight against climate change.
So I'm Vusumo Zisifile. I'm the Executive Director of Panos Institute Southern Africa, which is the Communication for Development organization working to amplify voices of poor and marginalized communities. So as an organization, we work to ensure that information is accessible and used to shape the development agenda. On the VCA program, Panos is a communication and knowledge brokering partner working under the South-South North, and our task has really been to develop and facilitate the implementation of a communication, advocacy and knowledge brokering strategy for the VCA program in Zambia. Our intervention is mostly influenced by the fact that there are limited levels of awareness, firstly of climate change as a concept and climate justice as one of the issues, and also in terms of the roles of different stakeholders in advancing just climate actions. And also in line with the VCA program, we believe that information is power. We believe that knowledge is the fuel that propels our responses to any challenges. So without knowledge, it may be very challenging for our communities, for organizations, for the government to effectively address challenges.
These three are key: the community, the forestry department, and also ZCCN in partnering to do this. Why am I saying so is because, as you have seen here in Siavonga, we have this community which has come up with this idea. Then there is the forestry department who have the expertise or the technical support for the community to be recognized by government as the community forestry management. And of course, they need now financial support from ZCCN. In this community forest, the community is going to benefit a lot. There's issues to do with carbon trading. So the community will be getting, finances through carbon trading. Again, once it is recognized as by government, by the Director of Forestry as the Community Forest Management Group, it means no one, not even government, will be able to get any benefit from the forest. All the benefits will be going towards the community.
Community members also shared the locally sourced initiatives in the fight against climate change.
Jina langu ndime Samson Mbasela, nizulira musena bwa Bakasa area. Gulikabunga ga NCDF. Ngakabona kuti masamu amanaya ngakatubungira so ba headman. Ali mundi risibuku ponana. Ulanganya kuti masamu mba amanaya na amasema butira gwabirira buti kama masamu amana. So wakaba muzezo oti twalikwaya kuteti tupange kabunga ka forest tekwa tuwabirire masamu aya. So nchobeni twakakala akupanga kabunga ka forest aba NCDF. Awakabunga kakapegwa ina la Nanyanga Community Forest. So pakaba kazikubola bazet system twakataka kubereka antu omwamba abo ababwalya kujati ya forest age tukwabirira masamu aya. So twakatalika kuyanda kuti tuyane muzezwa kuti katuni ku planting katumane sali twa masamu twakatukwanisha kusima mugati omungu sena. So ino ngumuzezo ngututya ngutujisi twataka kusima. I think kuli tusamtu mtu tayunka obona kuya tutakasima kali mu busena mweno akumbero kukambo forest yeswe nimpati ansaizi yanjiyo kuendelana nangu 4,500 hectares. So sena bupati kulasika umulonga unzoko. So mbombo tubereka mugati mu forest yeso mu takubantu bitizumira mujindi jino konka isamo tulagasha tujisaba abamasirikani bagapogola bajata abantu kuti bagonka isamo ogu baunka babajata abantu. So this time abantu balayowa tako ukwanisha kusika ogu gonka isamo mujindi jino.
We have engaged the forestry department at the district. Mr. Mwamba has been very instrumental since 2019, working with us, finding avenues on how we can avoid the charcoal burning. We are working on strategies where communities can have community gardens. We put up solar pumps. As we pass through Bakasa, I think the government through CDF. They put up solar pumps trying to revamp the water problem so that maybe people can avoid doing charcoal, but they can start doing gardening. Also, there at the hot springs, some farmers have started doing garden. You will find that they grow okra, there is a rape. These, they have stopped going to burn charcoal. Even in Namomba, we have piped water. Parents are trying to do also gardening. Not only that, for our area, we have a garden called the Lucis Garden in Namomba, where we are growing local trees, whereby we take it back to the forest management area and regenerate it.
There is a project called VCA, and we also have a forest department in the district and the community. So these three pillars, the community, VCA and the forest department, they have come on board in terms of community sensitization, tree planting by forest department. So the collaboration is okay. VCA is sensitizing the community on the importance of protecting the environment and also giving education to the communities in terms of going into these local alternatives on how they can find the resources than doing the charcoal production. VCA has come with the knowledge to the community. That knowledge the community is using it to apply through CDF, and they are getting some projects like I have mentioned earlier, goat rearing, chicken rearing, pigs and fish farming. So VCA has brought that education to the community, and the community have taken advantage of that education to apply through these funds which the government has brought on board. So these are the successive stories which have come in all the 5 zones in the world. Each year there is a project which is done in line with climate related projects.
Monga ba CJ na beve banati trainisa. I think banakamba tifuna bajabole mara na bamene sibole mara. So tunaenda pamoja tutaenda kutrain wa mosungira nkuku mwamene mosungira kuli bantu bole mara kuli beve mena achita. So banatipunzisa pajoti ngati wasunga nkuku wachitaso wa nkuku wazisunga bwino zija nkuku zamba kugulisa. Kayamba kugulisa ninshi kulemala kwako kuja siku zaoneka uzayamba kutabu anji benefit mkuku.
Leo mai nangu ndime Mbozi Hendrix, Msaya Ward Councillor, Chirundu District. Uno kutwasiga kuno kwa Zemba village. Pona anopotwi wano pa Zemba Dam. So, guzowa myaka yonse ya munsomu, twajisima challenges na imabuyu ibunji bwandene. Pere kwa siya kabunga kambi igali mu partnership atumbi kabunga ka VCA. Koti kabunga ka VCA twabereka nkako kwa jindi. I think kwa na myaka ikubwenyi nati yakwana about 3 years. 3 years. So ikubeka mu twabereka mbabo hinji twabereka mbabo 1 twabereka mbabo kuinda mu implementation ya CDF ma programs like kuma clubs formation twabereka ali mwambabo ikulanganya ihyango kutina mburo kuno kuwadi kwesuna kumusaya wadi ihyango yakwamba kuti ngatugwahirira ikwamba kuti bali mibesu nga bachita benefit pona kunza abobo twabereka ali mwaba VCA ikulanganya kuti ikupanga na muzezo na twambe kuti plan integrated development plan iya wadi. Pona kunza abobo tumbitwambo twalanganya aba VCA twalanganya inkani ya balema kutina ino balema baragwahirwa mujimo jiri buti. So tokabora program antomwe aba VCA ama organization ambi agalibunga antomwe igwamba uta atubabambire itubunga na ma clubs kambo tukumende muno jindi iragwahira abantu balema alimwe abantu bapenge n'abantu bala ijaminidwe bala hansi mu buponi wa mbulimbo batyeni mbobapona.
In our area is Musaya Ward, we have been visited from time to time by WWF officials to alert us and to explain to us what climate change is all about. And the community has been taught how to manage this climate change and how to avoid the obvious things like cutting down of trees to avoid that. We have also been taught what type of agriculture in terms of how to manage plants during the rain season, what type of crop that we should plant, and we should be very serious with the conservation to run away from the old systems of planting.
Ba VCA bakasibakana na kuti bayakupama ziberesiko sikakuti bantu kwababeresikana balime magarden instead of chako burning bapegwe ma resources akuti ndiza ngabawola tuma engine mawaya fence wire teko ba fence ngama garden abalya bali makabu tuzishango sene mulima vegetables maokira.
Indeed, slowly the communities are becoming aware of the adverse impact of climate change and are taking the lead in implementing locally sourced solutions. The VCA is in full support of these local innovations.
Our focus really is on facilitating engagement between the communities with decision makers and the other stakeholders. We identify certain harmful practices that are damaging the environment, that are damaging the social fabrics, and we do not prescribe a solution, but we facilitate engagement. We create a platform where community members engage with decision makers, they engage with traditional leaders, they engage with religious leaders, civil society, and different actors. And problems or issues are tabled. They are interrogated, the pros and cons of different practices are debated, and a sustainable solution agreed upon and driven by the community. Because one of the challenges that has stifled development interventions is maybe the tendency to go to the communities with a prescriptive kind of solution, and then they may refuse to follow it. For example, if you look at charcoal burning, most of the communities that burn charcoal or that make charcoal, they don't even, they use firewood, but they burn charcoal in order to sell as an income source. So our focus is on, instead of just telling them, say, no, stop making charcoal, we also sensitize them on other alternative income solutions, on other alternative livelihood streams, so that they do not feel like we are coming and proposing that they stop their only reliable livelihood source, but we let them understand that the resource that they are relying on is being depleted at a very fast rate, and only them have a role to play in terms of stopping that depletion while still enjoying their livelihood using alternative sources.
Yes, the VCA is active on the ground through different grassroots partners to ensure locally sourced solutions that are both inclusive and sustainable are being applied in the fight against climate change.